Hi, I'm Shanice Periera. I'm an architect by profession and qualification. And today I will be conducting the interview with Mr. Agnelorajesh Ataid, who is an educationist, an author, first generation serial and social entrepreneur, a keen player in the e commerce sector, and a business investor. Today, our topic will be replacing thoughts and changing results. So, Mr. Agnello Rajesh, please go ahead and give us a brief on today's topic.
So, Shanice, it's a pleasure being here with you on this show. And what a phenomenal topic, replacing thoughts and changing results. Indeed, friends, when we change our thoughts, we definitely also change the results. So, if you only read the books that everyone else is reading, you can only think what everyone else is thinking. That's a very common saying. And you must have heard the saying, the same old thinking will give the same old results. And Shanice, I find it to be 100% true. So if you want to change your results, you have to change your thinking first. And we all know that it's the thought that matters. It all begins in the mind, Shanice.
Wow, that is an awesome thought to start the session. I also completely agree. But how?
So, Shanice, we are addicted to our thoughts. We cannot change anything if we cannot change our thinking. And there are various books available today about how to change your thoughts. This, of course, is referring to changing your attitude or, more importantly, your thoughts. The soul becomes dyed with the color. You can also dye your soul with the color. Your attitude controls every area of your life, and your thoughts define your purpose in life. So, change thoughts, change results, and it is that simple. Guard well your thoughts when alone is a very important statement. Please guard your thoughts well when you are alone. So I do my best thinking at night when everyone else is sleeping. No interruptions, no noise. I like the feeling of being awake when nobody else is. And that's the time I process the best thoughts possible, which can be implemented in personal life as well as professional and business commitments, Shanice.
That's easier said than done. What's your take on that?
Absolutely, Shanice. Nothing comes easy in life. You don't work it and it will not be done. So you have to work on whatever you want to implement. That's critically, absolutely very important. So one has to make sincere efforts to change thoughts in a positive direction so that desired results can be achieved. In order to have positive attitude, you must be thinking positive thoughts. Think about how you feel when you think of how you feel when you think about enjoying a party with a loved one. Those thoughts generate feelings, and it's those feelings that cause you to act the way you act. So it's all about thoughts, and those thoughts then convert into actions, basis of your feelings and your emotions, Shanice.
What do you mean by thinking positive thoughts?
So, Shanice, do you become crippled with self-doubt when a challenge arises? That's what happens with most of us. When there is a challenge, we really feel crippled for the moment. So you should not be so, as your spirit is capable of achieving great things when you see your willpower and positive, encouraging, reinforcing thoughts. Like I always love to say, it's all about the thoughts. And Shanice, today we are joined with so many interesting friends who are there online. There is Amol Patil, there is Tanishka Kumar, there is Paul Ritesh, there is Pradguna Valde, there is Ruchi Desai. So lots of friends joining us for the show. To answer your question, Shinish, suppose you are having problems in your, when I say you, it's not you, it can be anybody. Suppose if anybody is having a problem or challenge in life, romantically, professionally, or in any other sphere of life, the first thing that we need to do is stop blaming yourself and feeling defeated, and know that you are in control of making the changes that will bring success to any area of your life. It's very important, Shinish, to replace weak thoughts with strong ones, negative thoughts with positive ones. We do nothing else around us changes, but once we change our thoughts, the world around us starts looking different. Negative thought replacement is a method for reducing the amount of depressive thoughts in a person's mind. I always say that believe in yourself, and belief in yourself is the key here. सो अगर आपको आपकी दशा बदलनी है तो आप आपकी दिशा बदलो. You need to depend on what you see and how you see, where your thoughts play a very critical role, Shanice. That's what I would like to answer for this question of yours.
That's great. But what happens, suppose, if I'm not able to think positively?
So, doubting your own capabilities will only create a self fulfilling prophecy. Since you think you're going to fail, your mind sets you out to make that belief true for you. So, we need to be very cautious with what we think and how we think. Your thoughts will lead you to the actions that produce the results your mind is set on. So, if you set your mind on success, you'll achieve success. If you set your mind on failure, failure is what you get. However, it can work the other way also. You start feeling positive and it will generate positive actions. When you create positive thoughts around succeeding, along with the images of that success, you actually create a self fulfilling prophecy that produces those results because your mind and your thoughts now know that you are going to generate positive results. So, there are multiple ways to stop negative thoughts from taking control. Remove the should thoughts. The word should be removed. We need to recognize automatic negative thinking. So we know ourselves the best. Once we come to know what are the negative thoughts that stop us, we should automatically start having a practice of removing them. Stop putting your thoughts on a trial. Acknowledge how overwhelmed you feel and don't force positive thoughts. Positive thoughts need to come to you naturally. Like how negative thoughts come, they come naturally, but you need to bar them from your system, from your subconscious mind with conscious efforts initially, but subsequently it should become a way of life for you, Shanice.
Got it. It's all about being positive, isn't it? But again, how is it possible that just changing thought can change your result?
Thank you, Shanice. That's a very interesting question. In fact, Ruchi Desai, I also agree with you that you get 100%, you get whatever you manifest. So I am a great believer of manifestation, Ruchi. Thank you for that comment of yours. Shanice, to answer your question about how is it possible? So this is called as positive reinforcement, Shiniz. When you believe in yourself and your success, that belief creates an air of confidence that will provide you with the motivation to take the required steps to move forward. Now, this type of positive reinforcement allows you to see failures as opportunities to learn and grow and to pick up yourself and dust yourself off. So think of how you treat a child when they take their first few steps. You wouldn't scold them when they stumble and fall, but you praise them for making that effort. It is the same thing with yourself. We need to start doing this to ourselves also. Keep encouraging and motivating yourself. Changing your mindset is no easy task. I also agree to that. But having an open and a positive mindset is a game changer. Your personal growth is what propels the choices you make for your physical, emotional, and spiritual well being. So, Shini's just something as simple as changing your thinking will definitely change your life. And I'm a living example of practicing what I'm preaching today. So I exactly do what I'm saying, and that has changed my life. It can change yours. It can change the life of everybody who's watching us just by changing the way we think and process thoughts.
Very nice. I completely agree. Is there any way we can change our thoughts?
Simple, Shanice. Replace the inner sound that is holding you back with one that is encouraging you and focus on the good qualities that you bring to the world. Each one has got positives and negatives. Let's start emphasizing on our positives, on our strengths. So your mind plays a very integral piece in the level of success you experience and where you are today, as well as where you will be in the future. We can actually visualize that. So changing negative thoughts and talking to positivity or talking with positive people will absolutely increase your confidence in your own abilities. So begin convincing yourself that you have the ability to achieve greatness and change your thoughts and inner voice to replace negative self-talk with a very positive one. Then, once you achieve that goal or get past the burden, you'll be armed with a healthy dose of confidence to keep you moving forward. So I know a very young entrepreneur, Shanice. His name is Sandeep Pote. He's the proprietor for CB Logistics. The interesting part is at a very young age, he's a second generation entrepreneur, come up from scratch. But at a very young age, in spite of the pandemic being there, he saw the positives of giving customer service in times which are most difficult. The character of an entrepreneur gets built during difficult times. In the smooth times, every entrepreneur is performing. But when the situation changes, like for example, the scenario that we saw in the last 8 months, that is the time where people monitor how you function, what promises are you making, and what is the proof that you have created that you have delivered those promises. Now, how does this happen? Out of 100 entrepreneurs, how can one entrepreneur be motivated and how can the other entrepreneurs be in a self-doubt of whether they can do what should be done or whether should they do what should be done? So if there is that one entrepreneur or those two entrepreneurs who think differently and who come out in the open and challenge the situation and still perform the commitments made to the customers define you as a totally dramatically different entrepreneur who's dependable and whose promises you can believe upon. The character and the personality of a person is shaped not on how well you dress or how well you speak, but how well you transact and how well you live up to your commitments. Now, for all of these things to happen, the only thing required is how do you think? Being with positive people, thinking positively, and having positive actions creates that differentiator which attracts the world towards you, and you become a center of attraction and you become like a magnet where people love to get associated with you, where people love to know you, and where people love to get into transactions with you and do business with you. That's my take on that question, Shanice. Thank you.
Can you share a few examples where and how one can convert negative thoughts into positive?
Simple, Shanice. Let me share a few examples as one can, put positive thinking into practice. I'm sharing one negative thought and how one can convert that into a positive thought. So I just want to play with some statements, and just changing one word here and there changes not only the meaning, also your thoughts, also your subconscious mind, and also your actions which follow that thoughts when you change the statement. Like for example, if I use the statement, I have never done it before. Okay, just change the statement from saying that I have never done it before. You can now say it's an opportunity to learn something new. Our subconscious mind jumps into action and looks forward to the learning rather than finding difficulty in thinking that I have never done it before. Second statement that I would like to change is people say it's too complicated. Why do we say so? Instead of saying it's too complicated, we need to use the words I'll tackle it from a very different angle. Automatically, resources fall in place, your thoughts change, your actions change. There are people who say, I don't have the resources. Absolutely wrong. There are plenty of resources around us. In fact, necessity is the mother of invention. If you have the eyes to identify the resources, whatever you need to be successful is within your vicinity like a low-hanging fruit. You just need to recognize it, notice it, and tap into it. So never say, I don't have the resources. There are plenty of resources around you. There are people who say, I'm too lazy to get this done. If that statement can just change and say that I wasn't able to fit it into my schedule, but I can re-examine some priorities. So don't confirm with yourself that you're lazy. Change your priorities, make it possible, and bring it into your priority list and get it done. We are human beings. Whatever we give priority to gets done. So if you give importance to something, it will automatically start fitting into your schedule. There are people who say there is no way it will work. When you think about a challenge and when you discuss a solution, there are people who are having a thought saying that no way it will work. I would say that why can't we use the statement, I can try to make it work. And when you say this, that I can try to make it work, your mind is already processing towards making it work. If people say it's too radical to change, we should say, let's take a chance. There are people who will say this when you're at the crossroad, and when somebody says it's too radical a change, we should come up and say, let's take a chance. Because, Shanice, the people who take a chance win. They've got nothing to lose. And most importantly, they don't lose the opportunity in the first place. When people say no one bothers to communicate with me, we can say, I'll see if I can open the channels of communication. So how you use your language is critically important. If somebody is saying I'm not going to get any better at this, I will say I will give it another try. And when I will give it another try, I will make it possible. I will make it happen. So remember, friends, being positive is rare, and rarity brings new thoughts. Rarity not only brings new thoughts, but rarity brings positivity, attention, growth, and also glory. So this is what I would love to share with all of you on how it can be beneficial when you change your words in the statements that you do your self talk with and change your mind about it.
Wow, that is very interesting. How fast can we achieve results by replacing these thoughts?
Well, there isn't a time limit set for this, Shanice. You see, your thoughts have created the life you are currently living, and you will be able to create your future with the same thoughts. Each thought, whether at a conscious or a subconscious level, is always creating something. So think of it as sowing and reaping. Your thoughts are the sowing of seeds, and your actions are the reaping of those thoughts. So there are no thoughts that do not have an effect. Every thought moves you in a particular direction. Positive thoughts move you closer to your positive desires, while negative thoughts move you further away from good results. You become what you think about. The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. This is a very lovely statement which Tony Robbins always says. The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. So I picked it up from Tony Robbins, and I just love it whenever he says that. So Shinish, there are a couple of people who have commented, like Deep Karya says, replace inner voice with encouraging words and bring out positive qualities out in the world is one way of changing your thoughts. There is another comment where Terenza Mendes has said, like we can exercise our body, we can do it with our mind. Also, being grateful helps a lot. I absolutely agree with you, Terenza. That's absolutely fantastic. Sandeep Pote has joined us, and he says, absolutely magical tips to change life. Yes, it's all about learning from each other. It's all about learning and being a part of conversations like this. And then it helps you to change your thoughts in a much better way, which will change your actions and give you positive results.
So, what do we mean by controlling thoughts can lead to a much happier and fulfilling life?
So, Shiniz, whenever human beings consciously change their thoughts, their vibrations also change. Mantras are the thought vibrations. Okay, so let me explain this. Like, take a example of wealth. It is my opinion that true wealth is experiencing abundance in every area of one's existence. Okay, wealth is never always only money, but it is about experiencing abundance in each person's area of expertise or area of life. But it serves no purpose to be financially successful only, but spiritually broken. So you need to have a balance, or you need to have great friends and have terrible health. So if you have great friends and there is no good health, there is no point. So you need to have great friends and a fantastic health to enjoy life. A balance of abundance in every area should be the goal for all of us. So you must take control over creating the life of your desires while minimizing the flow of things that you do not want. So you can always be the choice maker of the ingredients that make a happy life. You know your personality, you know what you like, you know what you don't like. So the things that you like, you need to be focused on them rather than cribbing about the things that you don't like. The thoughts you think are constantly attracting things. So what you think is critically important. So it's very important for us to understand that the thoughts you think are constantly attracting things, situations, people, and health into your life. If they are positive, all these elements will become positive in your life. Your thoughts are doing one of the two things. They are either moving you towards your goals, or they are moving you away from your goals. Your past thoughts have shaped the world in which you live today, and the thoughts you are thinking today are shaping your future. So let's use that powerful knowledge to create a better future And that's the power of thought. It's all about thoughts, the right words, the right adjectives, the right feeling, and replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. So Sharvari Kulkarni has joined and she is saying that thank you so much for boosting our morale, much needed during these tough times. So Sharvari, my suggestion is no times are tough. It depends on how we look at it. The situation and the environment around us will always be changing. That's a constant. The change is a constant, but we need to adapt to those particular situations. uh, Ruchi Desai is saying best way to start your morning is something I've been doing, keeping a gratitude journal. Completely agree, Ruchi, because when you express gratitude, you become a very humble human being. Gratitude is the best attitude, and it is the attitude that attracts people to you. When you express gratitude, more number of good people become a part of your life, and happiness is all about the quality of people who are there in your life. That is true happiness. So it is your attitude which is most important. It is gratitude which shapes up your attitude. And I love what you said, Ruchi, that something that you have been doing is maintaining a gratitude journal. In fact, Sandeep Pote also has a comment, Shanice, that what you think is critically important when I'm experiencing every day. Positive self-talk matters a lot. Absolutely agreed with you, Sandeep. And that's what I believe in. And you yourself are such a great example of positive self-talk and positive talk always in public whenever you interact with people. So these are all great audiences, and these are all great comments which also become a part of the answer that you are expecting for your question, Shanice.
Absolutely. But you will agree that we have thousands of individual thoughts per day, and more than
Yeah.
90% of these occur at the subconscious level.
Yes, yes, yes,
So, how can
yes.
we possibly be expected to control all of these thoughts?
So, very good question again, Shanice. I like it actually. An important first step towards controlling all of your thoughts is to understand how the conscious and the subconscious minds work together. So, let us consider an example. You wake up one morning. We have lost Shanice. I'm sure she'll be back. This is the challenge of technology and bandwidth, but I'm sure that she'll be back. I would like to share to consider a example. Like you wake up one morning and you're not feeling 100% well. Shanice is back. I will add her to the stream. She is having bandwidth issues, but I'm sure we will manage it. So when you wake up in the morning and you're not feeling 100%, fit or great, you may consciously ask yourself, why do I feel badly today? Okay. Your conscious mind takes your question and asks it to your subconscious mind in an attempt to find answer to your question. The subconscious mind has been programmed over your lifetime through the results of your thoughts, habits, environments, and experiences. It doesn't know right from wrong. It doesn't know right from wrong. It doesn't know up and down. It doesn't know in from out. It doesn't know black from white. So we need to be very conscious about this aspect, that your subconscious mind only knows what you have programmed uh, for it to believe it to be true. So therefore, when you consciously ask yourself, why do I feel badly? Your brain hears, I don't feel well. And then it asks your subconscious mind to provide you with some answers based on your past experiences. And you start getting answers which says that I feel bad because, and then you've got 10,000 reasons why you feel bad. It would be, I'm fat, I party too much, my relationships are not good, I do not like my job. There are 10,000 such reasons. So your subconscious mind is activated all the negative thoughts which are not going to do any good to you. Now with those kind of thoughts, your mind will start to attract more of the same thoughts throughout the day, and more of that same stuff will be attracted to you. So depending on how we answer the questions which are asked to our subconscious mind, we will go about with our day trying to prove why we feel the way we do. So we are always looking for proof to reflect why we feel bad. Mornings are critically important. So when you start your day, please make sure that your mind is clear, fresh, and with positive questions, positive thoughts, and you look forward to the day to do exciting stuff. Like for example, on every Friday, I feel so excited to do this live show at 4:15 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and I look forward to it. I dwell upon content, I read content, I Google it, I listen to content, and I prepare myself for the subject. So life becomes so interesting and so exciting. In the process of learning so many aspects, The way you live changes, the way you think changes, the way you talk changes, and the way you shape up your new relationship also changes. Like I make so many new friends through such talks. And just see, there is Jalpa Karya saying so true that our goal should be to make our life successful instead of thinking success as money or career. So that is fantastic. I just loved your comment, Jalpa. Thank you so much for that. And that's how it goes, Shanice.
That is so true. We always try to justify certain situations with our thoughts, depending upon our past experiences or habits. Is there any method we can change these thoughts?
Sure. So you see, the key to creating better results is to modify the way you think. Now you can do this by asking better questions to yourself, thereby filling your mind with more positive images. So, for example, let me share some positive questions which can be asked by you to yourself on an everyday basis. So when you wake up, you can start with the question that why do I feel so good? Why are my relationships so excellent? Why do I feel so healthy today? Why am I feeling so grateful today? So, like similar to the previous negative example, we will go out into the world looking for proof and answers to the questions that we asked. So, we'll have to have a great day at work, eat a healthier meal, or realize something we should be grateful for. That's what your mind will start looking for when you ask these kind of questions to yourself. So, depending on the questions you ask to yourself, you can create different results. Isn't it simple? No investments required. It is just being mindful of what you should do and how you should program yourself to be positive in this world. So look at your current situation and identify the areas of your life that you would like to change. And Shinish, even if things are going wonderfully well, there are always areas in your life that you can improve upon. We should never feel satisfied about anything. We should keep on loving the journey of life and keep on improving whatever we are doing. So maybe your family life is excellent, but perhaps you would like to see a change in your career. You may be financially secure and happy at home, but not healthy enough to have the energy to enjoy it. So you can work on your health. You can start exercising regularly. You can start meditating. You can start jogging. You can start walking. There are too many good actions that can happen. So it's time to start asking for and thinking about what you want, and your life can be enhanced in some very, very positive ways. The questions that we ask ourselves need to be the right questions, positive questions, and they need to shape up not only your day, but your rest of the life.
Wow, but if it's that easy, then why are there thousands of people struggling? How can one create that positive attitude?
So, Shiniz, I meet hundreds of people in my work, and some are incredibly successful, and some struggle every day. So, what makes a person successful and somebody else not so successful? It is not the education, okay, Shiniz, it's not the education or health or looks or geography of where you are or luck. None of these. So, though this may play a very small role, they are not what you need to have more of instead of what you want. So it's not necessary that if you're good looking, well educated, more intelligent, you'll be more successful. Successful people have focus. That is what differentiates them from the others. Successful people will focus only on the right adjectives, only on the positive statements, only on the positive words, only on the positives in an environment, and only the positive people in their life. So consider the magnifying glass, Shinish. So when you move it around a piece of paper under direct sunlight, nothing happens. But when you stop the movement of the magnifying glass and if you focus the beam of the light on just one spot, you create fire. What I mean to say is that focused energy creates powerful results. And that's the differentiator. And that's what makes you different. So Amol Patil has asked a question, how to keep natural thought process positive rather than forceful positive thought processes. Amol, once you start analyzing on how your mind should start thinking, it will automatically change your language with yourself. And you never will have to replace negative thoughts, because positive thinking people after a period of time become so matured that negative thoughts don't even crop up into their minds. In fact, a negative thought creates an opportunity for them. It becomes an obstacle, it becomes a challenge, and they realize that when I solve this challenge, it becomes an opportunity. So that's how it begins. But it's a practice where you have to start sometime or somewhere. Like somebody just commented that to keep a fit body, you exercise. So to keep a fit mind, also you need to repeat some exercises and be conscious about what your mind should take in and dust off. So if you realize that, after some time, it becomes your second nature. So there is Marushika Pinto says, good question, Shanice. So yeah, lovely question, Shanice. Thank you so much. And Anand Sethi has also joined us. So these are all lovely people who are online with us in this live session.
So, in keeping on that note, there must be some steps or methods to remain focused on positive thinking.
So, different techniques, Shanice, work with different people. You can learn to turn negative thinking into positive thinking. The process is simple, but it does take time and practice, just how I answered to Amol Patil's question. You are creating a new habit, and to create a new habit, you have to keep repeating that. So, let me share some of the ways to think and behave in a more positive and optimistic way. Like, for example, we need to identify areas to change. If you want to become more optimistic and engage in more positive thinking, engage in more positive thinking is critically important. But first, identify areas of your life that you usually think negatively about, whether it is work, whether it is daily commute, or a relationship. You can start small by focusing on one or two areas, and then approach towards it in a very positive way. You need to check yourself periodically during the day, and you need to stop and evaluate what you're thinking. If you find that your thoughts are mainly negative, try to find a way to put a positive spin on them. You should also be open to humor, Shines. So you need to give yourself permission to smile or laugh, especially during challenging times. So you need to seek humor in everyday happenings. When you can laugh at life, you feel less stressed or no stress at all. We all need to remember to follow a very healthy lifestyle. So we need to aim to exercise at least 30 minutes a day, not less than at least 5 days a week, and it will dramatically change the way you feel about your body as well. So you can also break it up to 10-minute chunks of time during the day if you can't do 30 minutes together. Exercise can positively affect the mood and reduce stress. So we can also get habituated to follow healthy diets to fuel your mind and body, and learn techniques to manage stress. Most importantly, Shanice, we need to surround ourselves with positive people, and we need to always, like Sandeep Pote commented, we need to always practice positive self-talk. There is no shortcut to that. Only when you think positive can you feel positive, and only when you feel positive can you spread positivity all around you.
Absolutely. Very nicely explained. I have also heard people say that positive thinking brings health benefits. What's your take on that?
So, Shanice, researchers continue to explore the effects of positive thinking and optimism on health. Health benefits are plenty because of positive thinking. Like I know people who are so good and so positive in life that they increase their lifespan also. They have lower rates of depression, lower levels of distress, greater resistance to common cold, better psychological and physical well-being. There is better cardiovascular health. Your heart is great, it's good, it functions well. You reduce risk of death from a heart attack for sure for positive people. You develop better coping skills during hardships and times of stress. These are all the effects of just one thing, a positive mindset. So it's unclear why people who engage in positive thinking experience these health benefits, but they do get these benefits. So no harm in being positive in your mind. One theory is that having a positive outlook enables you to cope better with stressful situations. And definitely, when you manage your stress better, it reduces the harmful health effects of stress on your body. So that's why it's always great to be positive. It always great is if you're positive, you're happy. If you're happy, people get attracted towards you. If there are happier people in your life, you become more happier, and it also gives positive advantages to the well-being of your mind and to the health of your body.
Wow, that was an amazing session. I got to know about thoughts, positive thoughts and results. Thank you so much. How would you like to conclude and summarize this great interaction?
Shanice, the pleasure was all mine. So, human beings are unique. We all know that, and each one of us is unique. And human beings have the ability to project an image or an idea of what they want the future to look like. While most of us imagine a bright future, we often don't hold on to that image long enough to create it in our lives. So we just have to start doing it. Rather than holding on to the image of our bright future, most of us focus on today's images and issues and end up creating more of that for our future. So if you dwell upon the current stress, then you cannot see a happy future. So don't be worried about the stress. The stress is there for you to manage and overcome it. When you focus on something for long enough, you create it. If you focus on being happy, you actually create happiness. By identifying areas in your life you would like to improve, you actually create an image of that desire, and automatically your life starts moving towards it. The more bright the image of the future it is, the faster we create that outcome. So imagination leads to what has been imagined. When we have faith in our ability to achieve it and are receptive to that image, we create power, Shinice. And things have a way of working themselves if we just remain positive. We have to just be positive and things start working out the way you desire them to be coming up to you. Life is good. It is only our thoughts, choices, and actions towards the situations that we meet in life each moment of time that makes life look good or bad. Depends on how we look at it. The same situation for somebody else has a different meaning all the time. It's all about thoughts, choices, and actions. Life is good. We all need to really, really live it well. Shini's nature is never static, it's always changing. Everything is a constant state of change. Everything is changing, and that's the only constant. Nothing endures or lasts forever. Everything is in the process of either coming into being or expiring. So, this time that we have spent together is expired, but it is everything is in the process of either coming into or expiring. Adapt to your thoughts, adapt to the new changes in life, always be happy, select positive people in life, and that will create help to create a very happy life, not only for you, your colleagues, your friends and relatives, but in the entire ecosystem around you. So जैसा आप सोचोगे वैसा आप बनोगे. So start thinking right, use the right words. Please avoid using negatives even in your regular statements, and see how your mind starts functioning differently. So thank you, Shinish, for this wonderful session. And thank you, audience, for joining
It
us.
was my
Anand Sethi,
pleasure.
Amol Patil, so many of them, Alice. There are so many people who have been with us on this talk. Amol Patil, Marushka Pinto, and Edna Fernandez, Sharvari Kulkarni, Ruchi Desai. Thank you all so much. And Shinish, thank you once again. And friends, we will meet again on next Friday at 4:15 p.m. with yet another topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.